I push it like I'm in labor. And heal to teach me to love my neighbor. Just wait up. I'm processing all the data. Processing all the data. Processing all the haters. While you was writing disses, I was taking pictures. Signing autographs for all of my bad bitches. And in the nick of time, it just dawned on me. I am Nicki Minaj and it's all on me. But hey, maybe I never win. Maybe I'm settling. Can't let the devil in. I'm a comic book heroine. But when the wind blows, I'm so Maryland. I'm so Maryland. Write it down, take a picture, bitches email that. I came to save a thing called female rap. But I just hope my ninja powers don't fuck around and offend you cowards. You mad at me cause you think I got it easy. If we was in the second grade then you would tease me. You see, you're still a little snotty nosed hood brat. I love Nicki scribbled all over your book bag. I love you too. I just wish your mother would have hugged you too. You know Nicki love the kids. Yellow brick road looking for the whiz. And when it rains, it pours for real. Def Jam said I know Lauryn Hill. Can't rap and sing on the same CD. The public won't get it, they got ADD. See, Nicki, follow the rules. Go and say your prayers and get ready for school. Yeah, follow the rules. Let me say my prayers and get ready for school. Dear God, I am only what you made me, and I appreciate everything that you gave me. But like, I don't want to do this no more. Sort of lost sight of what I'm doing it for. Thought that I was doing something good for the game, till they all started throwing dirt on my name. Tell Debbie I really tried. That I said I'm sorry, but I had to say goodbye. And tell Fendi I'll never forget him. And please tell Wayne I'll always be indebted. I'll never forget it. Please tell Wayne I'll always be indebted. Can anybody hear me? Besties, what's up? You know we're back here with another video. So before we get into it, like it up, like it up, and you know, subscribe and hit that notification bell just in case you want to see me in your next video. But I had to get on here because I had this download and it was hitting me while I was in the shower like so crazy. And it was like, what is the difference between purpose and calling? And a lot of people like to put people against each other, right? When we speak about rappers and music, we always talk about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Well, there's a difference between the two. And this is the reason why we should not be pitting people against each other, because you never know what one person's mission in life is. So when you think about Nicki Minaj, from a young age, she's always been rapping. Rapping was not something that was not second nature to her. She always rapped from the beginning. She always performed. She always did everything that she was doing. She always did it. And it was always so that she can help other people. It wasn't just so that she could put herself on. This is the difference. This is the difference. When you are in calling, this is something that's not only going to help you, but it's also going to help other people going forward. If you think about the ripple effect that happened after Nicki Minaj became a female rapper, she had to literally pave the way and make all the mistakes. She had to go through all the trials, all the tribulations. She had nobody to lead her because at the end of the day, at that time, nobody wanted to show her how to get it done. Nobody wanted to show her what was the best way for her to get there. So she had to step on next, whether it was male or female. She had to get to the position she needed to get to by putting in that work and also knowing herself, loving herself, respecting herself, and not letting anybody put her down or make her feel like she's less than who she is. When you hear this song, Can Anybody Hear Me? She put this song out in 2012. This song still holds true today. That's why when she put out her mixtape, she re-released it, because at the end of the day, there was going to always be somebody who's going to come in and be able to say, this song actually meant something. You see all of the people that was able to come after Nicki Minaj. That was a big burst of female rappers that were able to enter the game after Nicki Minaj became a rapper. And you want to know what happened? she ended up being sacrificed by those same female rappers, by those same people who said they loved her so much so that they can get their fame, so that they can achieve what they want to achieve. This is the difference between a calling and a purpose. Because when you're in calling, you will have the world against you. You will have people against you, people trying to put you down, people trying to keep you from getting to the place you're supposed to get to. Because why? If you were to be the one to change the dynamic in the world, then a lot of other people will be able to come behind you and follow in your footsteps, right? So that's the difference. If you see Cardi B, she had a purpose, and her purpose was to bring her family up, to bring her generation up, the people who came behind her up. There was already many different female rappers, and many of them just didn't come from where she came from. They didn't come from the place that she came from. At the end of the day, Nicki Minaj also paved the way for Cardi B. It's like, we all work together. It's not separate. When one person walks in calling, it gives another person the ability to walk in purpose. So when you feel like you are walking in calling, this is something that you have to understand, that the world might be all against you. Everybody behind you is going to be like, boo, boo, boo. But in the end, you know that everybody's really going to be clapping for you because you really paved the way. And that's why when we think about these differences between people who are walking in calling and people who are walking in purpose, we cannot shame them. We cannot put them down, because at the end of the day, we are all working together. We all have a common mission. It's not about who's better than the other, who's better than the next. We all have a purpose in our own lives, but our purpose, it might be different from somebody who has a calling. You might see somebody like Nicki Minaj and be like, okay, yeah, she did this and did this, but then look at all the things she did after. Imagine how it would feel. Imagine the emotional strength that it takes. Imagine the mental strength that it takes to be able to deal with a magnitude of people constantly putting you down, a magnitude of people who are constantly draining your energy, stealing from you, people who are constantly speaking down on your name and trying to put you in a position where you cannot overcome. People might say, oh yeah, Nicki Minaj stole from Lil' Kim. I'm sorry, but was Lil' Kim teaching other people how to get on? Lil' Kim had her own purpose. Lil' Kim had her own purpose in life, which was to bring her own generation up, to bring her own family up. It's not about one versus the other. At the end of the day, Nicki Minaj, she had a different calling on her life. And in order for her to figure out what her calling was, she had to go based off all the people who came before her. If nobody wanted to walk her through, nobody wanted to hold her hand, then she had to figure it out by herself. And I can 100% resonate with that, because when you see all these people around you, like I have people in my family who are people who do music, and I've always been somebody who's been a musical person, but I never had somebody who walked me through the process. I never had somebody teach me how to make a song. I never had somebody teach me how to get to the logistics of how to get to this level and this level and this level. I never had anybody teach me, oh, is this the type of person that you should hang out with? These are the type of people you shouldn't hang out with. And that's the thing. We don't know what other people are going through when they're in their own life. We don't know what other people are experiencing, especially when you're trying to figure out what your purpose is. Well, for me, I know that my purpose was bigger than what other people see me as. My purpose is a calling. My purpose and my calling together, they work in conjunction, because at the end of the day, I'm helping people overcome where they came from. I'm helping other people see that, yes, there are people out there who are selfish. There are people out there who do not want to teach you. There's people out there who do not want to help you. There's people who will use you, step on your back, and then drain you for everything that you have in the world, so that they can continue to live in their purpose, so that they can continue to live in their own era of happiness. It's like so that they can continue to be the biggest in their own life. But that's the thing. When people are simply just taking from people and not giving back, it causes an imbalance within the world. It causes an imbalance. You see that Nicki Minaj has a very big fan base, yes. But at the end of the day, she also has a lot of people who claim that they hate her. And it's like, for what? Because she had to do what was best for everybody as a whole. And it got to the point where people were putting her down so much. It's like she just had a kid. Cardi B had a kid too. And it's like, people have to deal with things in different ways. When Cardi B, she deals with things in her own way. She talks to the people. She has conversations with the people. Nicki Minaj, she, on the other hand, she has to protect her energy because she knows that her energy is easily siphonable. It's like if someone goes for Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj goes back at them, they're automatically going to be a celebrity. It's the same thing as Cardi B, but at the end of the day, it's like a different spectrum because people see Cardi B as like, yeah, she's a good rapper. She's a great rapper. She's famous. She's a mogul. She's out there. But Nicki Minaj, it's like they've seen her from the young to the older. So it's like that is a whole legacy. You could lose your whole legacy. On the other hand, it's like you're not going to lose your legacy because that's what you built it off of. You built it off of that banter. Nicki Minaj had a completely different type of setup. She had a completely different structure than what Cardi B has. And that's why you cannot pit people against each other. That's why you cannot compare people against each other. Just the same way as Beyonce. Beyonce is a mogul. Beyonce is an icon that people see and they want to be able to be like, okay, I am just like this person, or I see this person in this way. Well, Beyonce, she doesn't give her energy freely. She gives her energy in a way that she feels comfortable because she understands that when people go back and forth, it's like draining your energy. You have to recognize the spirituality between everything. And if you look and listen to everybody's songs, you listen and you can hear exactly what mindset they're in. When you let the devil get into your mind, that's when you get dragged down and you get put in these situations where it could be, okay, a destiny swap, or a situation where you could be in a scenario where it's like, okay, you feel like you're better than anybody, but it's like you have to be able to recognize that when you know yourself, you know what you're putting out into the universe. You know what you're putting out into the world. And I feel like it's not right for anybody to make sure that one person is better than the other person. Look at if somebody is in the same way as if anybody follows Nicki Minaj and they follow in their footprint. Look at Trim. She's using the essence of Nicki Minaj to put herself up. And it's because she knows that people are gravitated to that name. When people hear about Nicki Minaj and they think that somebody's copying her, her fans is going to come and be like, "Arr." But at the end of the day, that's still giving her energy. That's still giving her essence to Trim. So it's like you're feeding into the same things that you're trying to fight against. That's the reason why we have to be careful when we're talking about certain things, because somebody's purpose should not negate another person's calling. Because at the end of the day, one person walked so these other people can run, so these other people can have it easier. Have you ever seen somebody literally blow up in the same way that Cardi B has? No, because that was her exact purpose. All these other girls, they tried to blow up in the same way, be like, oh yeah, I came for the strip club and I did that. I could be a rapper too, but it doesn't pop the same way because that was her purpose. That's not anybody else's purpose. You have to find your own purpose. You have to find your own direction, your own lane. Just with Nicki Minaj, she had to start from a young age and she had to work herself up. She had to get pushed down, right, fight herself up all the way. She didn't really have handouts. She had people who she was working with, but she had to prove herself. She had to prove that she was the best out of the people who she was with. Some people don't have to prove that. It's like when you have a calling, you have to prove that you're better than everybody else because everybody else feels like you have to prove yourself. But at the end of the day, just being yourself is going to prove and be the proof that you are the best out of all of those people. It's going to accentuate and show who is the real and who is the fake. Regardless, it's going to put one in one. It doesn't matter. But the real is always going to recognize real. And maybe some people, they don't even know why they're recognizing real because they don't recognize that, okay, I'm supporting this person because it's a part of their purpose. I'm supporting this person because it's a part of their calling. They feel like it's a part of their own decision, their own choice. But really, this is all the plans of the Most High. God is in control, not any singular person. And while people might think that they're pulling the strings and doing this and doing that, that's why people will fall. Because when you are trying to be the one who's in control over people's minds, that's when you're doing wrong. When you're trying to control the masses, that's when you're doing wrong. And when you think about it, it's like you have to believe that everybody who is putting the effort into what they want out of life is actually trying their best, right? You have to believe that, right? But a lot of the times that's not true. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't succeed, because it's like, it's not that they really want it. It's not that it's their real purpose. It's just the fact that they've seen somebody else do it and they believe that they deserve that as well. And you don't need to get somebody else's blessings in order for you to be great. You can be great with your own blessings. That's the reason why it's like, Cardi, she trying to fight so hard. She was trying to fight so hard for people to stop comparing her to Nicki Minaj, because there's no comparison. One person is walking in purpose, and one person is walking in calling. That's the difference. And if you continue to try to pit two people against each other just because you believe there should only be one, that's when it's going to make the whole tower fall. It's like we're all building together. Every piece works together. It's just like Jenga. Every piece is working together so that it can achieve a common goal. What is it going to be? It's going to be change. It's going to be the ability for people who came from situations like me and you, generations like me and you, people who came from poverty, people who came from trauma, people who came from just being in situations where they did not feel the strength to be able to follow their dreams. It gives them the ability to see that they have the possibility to actually walk in purpose. They have the ability to walk in their calling. But it's understanding that you have to know what your calling is. You have to know what your purpose is, so you don't get caught up in all of the BS. The BS is all of the noise, all of the people who are talking. You don't have to respond to people. You don't have to get back at people, because when you give your energy to people, that's free clout. That's free. It's like, okay, yes, I thank you. I needed some claps. And now you use those claps so that you can move forward. It's like, that's what you have to understand. When you want something to be true, then you put your energy into that. You don't put your energy into things that you don't want to be come to fruition. So it's like Nicki Minaj, she puts all her effort into her music. She put all her effort into her building her family. You see that? When you put your effort into so many different places, that's when people can start dragging you. And there was a point in time that she did start getting into arguments with different people, different rappers, because it's like at some point, something's got to give. It's like you can't continue to people just pushing you down when you already know who you are. But that's the thing. That is the trick, because it's like the devil will come and get you and try and be like, hey, yeah, you think you're this, but really, I'm gonna snatch that from you. So people are gonna try and take the legacy that is Nicki Minaj, but overall, Nicki Minaj has been great since a young age, even though there's been times, even when I was younger, I used to be like, oh my God, Nicki Minaj, you, what are you doing? It was really that Starships is meant to fly era. Like, I hated that. But it's like, you have to recognize that this is all a part of a journey. It's all a part of a path that's for her. And if she never went on so many different paths, if she never went so many different directions, how do you guys expect that she was to go and get her fans from all these different areas? If she never went this way, how do you expect for her to have gotten to where she is now? You wouldn't have expected that, because it's like you wanted her to stay in a box. I wanted her to stay in a box because that box was comfortable for me. And as I got older, as I went on my own path, as I recognized my own calling, it made it clearer to me that it's not about what one person wants. It's about the goal of the overall collective. And if you can let yourself get put in a position where people are just taking from you, you get your purpose snatched up off you. Don't let your purpose get snatched. Don't let your calling get snatched from you. Because at the end of the day got to end. And when you go to sleep at night, you have to be the one who says, do I feel happy with my life? Do I feel happy with what I've gotten to? People are going to always say whatever they want to say about you. They're going to talk about you in any way that they would like to talk about you. Because why? That's all they can do. When people do not have the ability to live in their own life, they have to live vicariously through you. Or they have to live vicariously through anybody that they see is above them. But you shouldn't look at anybody as above you, because we're all on the same level. We're all one. We're all one, period. It's like we're all connected. We're all in the same lifeboat. And it's just the same as when she said in her song, labels look at numbers and statistics. I lose, you lose. Mine's just logistics. Anyway, real bitches listen when I'm speaking, because if Nicki win, then all of y'all get in meetings. It's not that she was just trying to say, I'm better than you and you guys have to follow me. No, it's literally true. She is speaking blessings over her life and the people who came behind her. And you want to know what happened? All of these female rappers came up after her. Some of them, they wanted to attribute their success to her, and some of them wanted to attribute their want to rap to her, and some of them, they plainly said, oh no, I didn't listen to Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj did not pave the way for anything. But at the end of the day, somebody paved the way for the person who paved the way for the person to pave the way from Nicki Minaj. And even if they say Lil Kim paved the way for Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim paved the way for herself, and Nicki Minaj seen that, and she tried to go off of that, and that didn't work for her. And she had to pivot into her own lane. When she got into her own lane, that's when she really started to take over. And she had to really figure that out. She had to figure out what her lane was, because there were so many people around her that had these different images. And it's like, it makes you think about when she says, you can't rap and sing on the same CD. The public won't get it. They got ADD. That's the world trying to put you down. That's the world trying to tell you, you can't do this, because if you were to do that, you would make a change in the world, or you could possibly make a change in the world that's going to upset the balance of what we already have established. So they want you to think that you don't have the ability to do what you want to do. They want you to think that you don't have the ability to overcome your circumstances, because you're better in that scenario. You're better in that space. You're better doing that, so it doesn't upset what they have going on. And that's a lot of how people move in the world, especially when people think that they're in a higher position than you. When people believe that they're in a higher position than you, they want you to stay out of their lane so that they can get and move up in their own lane, regardless of, without having any trouble, having any problems. But sometimes it's just the fact that it's time for you to move about that lane, because it's, if you didn't do the job of paving the way for other people to come, you got to let somebody else come through so somebody else can do that job for you. Because when you in a selfish mindset, you're not able to actually see what you're actually doing. You're only bringing down the other people who come behind you. You're only making the other people who come behind you feel like they are not able or capable of achieving their own goals, because you don't want to show them the way. It's like, just being yourself and being the leader can be the example. But if you don't want to be the leader, then you got to make space and move over so the real leader can come through. It's all about you living in your most authentic energy, you living in your most genuine energy, telling the truth, being real. Everybody goes through things in life, and sometimes when we go through things, that's what's going to help the next person move forward. That's what's going to help the next person achieve and overcome things. But if we cannot see as a collective when people are going through things and how this can actually benefit the whole entirety of us, just by them being confident enough to tell us the truth and confident enough for them to lay it all on the line, then we're all going to be stuck in the same positions. We're going to be in the position where everybody is comfortable with. They're seeing people as people who are just doing things and not even making any differences. It's like, you see how people, they say, oh yeah, we got all of these people coming into our genre. It's like, if you don't make the space for the other people who come behind you, well, of course there's going to be space for the people who were already set up and already were told that they can do anything they want. There's people out there right now who don't believe that they can do anything they want, because the people who came before them would never let them believe that, will never let them move in that energy, will never let them be themselves enough so that they can actually become big enough and strong enough, mentally capable enough, physically strong enough, etc., so that they can control their own circumstances and not let their circumstances control them. So thank you guys so much for tapping in with me today. This has been your girl, Cass the Bestie, and this has been Purpose versus Calling. And if you guys want to have any more in-depth conversations, if you need more clarity, head over to my website, castthebestie.com. I see very clearly, and I can help you guys break down any doors, any obstacles that are keeping you stuck to this day. I got fast passes. I even got emergency meetings, and those last 1 hour. If you would like, you can actually join my Angel in Disguise program. My Angel in Disguise program, it is a 3-month program where you can join me, get fast passes, emergency meetings, and you get access to my book, The High Vibe Survival Guide, A Journey to Balance for Sensitive Souls by yours truly, Cass the Bestie. And if you would like any of your questions answered on one of my videos, email me at info@castthebestie.com where you can get your questions answered on my next stream. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that your next time you come onto this page, you'll be able to get all my latest updates. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys very, 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 very soon.